The Mekong Delta, Vietnam's hidden strategic treasure. A story of nature's genius, human resilience, and global relevance. Slide 1. Welcome to the Mekong Delta. Visual, a cinematic aerial shot of the Mekong Delta in early morning mist. Opening line. Welcome to the beating green heart of southern Vietnam, where rivers write history and water gives birth to life, culture, and commerce. Slide 2. A water world unlike any other. The Delta defined. The Mekong Delta is formed by the alluvial sediments of the Mekong River, creating a 40,000 square kilometers fertile wonderland. 12 provinces, 17 million people, over 1,000 rivers and canals. Global significance. One of 3 most climate-vulnerable deltas on Earth. Known as Asia's Rice Bowl and a biodiversity hotspot. Slide 3. Water. The lifeblood of the Delta. Flow volume for 75 km superscript 3/year, among the highest globally. Supports over 60 million people across the basin. Regulates climate, sedimentation, and purification. Scientific insight. According to MRC and SIWRP data, hydropower and climate change have altered seasonal flow patterns, reducing natural sedimentation by up to 70% in certain areas. Secret surprise. In dry seasons, salty ocean water can creep up to 100 kilometers inland, endangering freshwater and rice crops. Slide 4. The underwater Amazon. Biodiversity and fisheries. Over 850 fish species, second only to the Amazon. Annual fish harvest, 2.6 million tons. Contributes 30 to 50% of dietary protein to Southeast Asia. Deep dive. Home to rare species like the Mekong giant catfish and Irrawaddy dolphin. A living lab for evolutionary biologists and conservationists. Slide 5. Energy versus ecology, a tectonic trade-off. Hydropower potential, 40,000 MW. e.g., Xayaburi Dam, Lao People's Democratic Republic 1,285 megawatts. But also, ecological fragmentation, reduced sediment, disrupted fish migration. Synthesis insight. A hydropower upstream threatens downstream agriculture, fisheries, and livelihoods. Balanced strategies like run-of-river dams and regional coordination are essential. Slide 6. Earth, food and fertility. As a natural supply chain. Rice capital. Mekong Delta equals 50% of Vietnam's rice output. Top 3 global rice exporters. Fertile alluvium. Natural sedimentation valued at billions of USD/year in ecosystem services. Crop diversity, rice, fruits, sugarcane, aquaculture. Secret science. Sediment decline equals up to 15% drop in soil fertility in key zones over 2 decades. Slide 7. Nature's superhighway, river logistics. Waterways move tens of millions of tons of goods per year. Cheaper than roads by up to 70% in cost per ton km. Boosts green logistics and regional integration. Strategic opportunity. Mekong water routes connect Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, and China. A vision, a pan-Mekong economic corridor. Slide 8. A living culture, where water shapes identity. 60+ million people depend on Mekong ecosystems. Hundreds of ethnic communities and floating cultures. Home of Don Ca Tai Tu, coconut crafts, and river festivals. Socio-ecosystem harmony. Environmental services protect agriculture, absorb floods, and filter pollutants, worth billions in avoided damage. Inspiration. The Mekong is not just a river, it is an ancestral thread connecting livelihood, identity, and continuity. Slide 9. Threats and turning points. Urgent risks. Saltwater intrusion. Subsidence and sinking lands. Sand mining. Pollution and overfishing. Scientific consensus. Without restoration, 25% of delta land could be underwater by 2100. Surprising stat. The delta is sinking at 1 to 4 centimeters per year, faster than sea level rise. Slide 10. Regeneration and sustainable futures. Strategic priorities. Restore wetlands and mangroves. Invest in climate-smart agriculture. Promote ecotourism and circular economies. Regional cooperation via MRC and SIWRP. Innovation. Floating solar farms, fish-rice rotation systems, biofilters. A quote to inspire. The Delta doesn't need saving. It needs seeing truly, scientifically, and sincerely. Local environmentalist. Slide 11. Why it matters to the world. Food security for 90 million Vietnamese and global rice trade. Biodiversity reserve with planetary value. Test case for climate adaptation and transboundary cooperation. Bridge for American-Vietnamese collaboration in science, business, and conservation. Slide 12. What you can do. For scientists. Join data sharing platforms, contribute to regional research on ecosystems, sediment flow, and climate models. For journalists and creators. Bring human stories of river life to global audiences. Expose challenges, amplify local voices, and showcase solutions. For economists and innovators. Support sustainable aquaculture, green transport, low-carbon tech. Co-invest in eco-infrastructure and public-private solutions. Slide 13. Closing. A river of hope. In the Mekong Delta, the past flows with the present, and the future is as fertile as its soil, if we choose to protect it.